It's the German team in front of the German crowd for our second best of three, and they've looked pretty solid, I have to say. Yesterday with Nico, definitely top fragging, taking over the in-game leadership as well, but they do go against the Danish side that's also been fairly impressive, and that guy right there, Kjærby, has showed up on land. That's always been one of the big talking points with this team. If they could get rolling, if he could get rolling on land, then they would be a force to be reckoned with, and so far they have been.
I also want to know something. If it's possible for... Never mind. It's fine. I had a producer in my ear still. I couldn't think, but now it's all good.
Oh, is that what you were... Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going somewhere with that, but...
I got wrecked.
It's fine. So let's go to someone who didn't get wrecked.
Yeah. No, I'm expecting a bit...
I mean, he's come dressed accordingly.
Yeah, I've actually managed to...
ready now.
Nailed it, shaped up, and hopefully that's what we're going to see from both sides. I'm unlike this guy who's going to be all about Mouse. I actually think Dignitas have a pretty good shot at making it through here. They just had a really good display versus VP yesterday. I don't see them actually dipping that much in performance either. I think they're going to get a massive boost of confidence from just having sent one of the best teams in the world home. And I think it's, they're well prepared. That's the really big thing. I know that they haven't had any issues leading up to this. Mousesports, obviously, they lost. Capio is supposed to do the in-game leading. Mouse kind of has, Nico kind of has to do it right now on the fly. And seeing how this is a best of three, we're going to see more maps and potentially some maps that are not inside the comfort zone of Nico.
I have a feeling I know where this desk is going. This guy's going to be all Nico, you're going to be all Rubino, and one's going to cheer for the other.
I mean, honestly, this game is 50-50 anyway, so I might as well go with my boy, Nico, It's going to be, I predict a close game either way, especially when you look at the map video. I feel that Dignitas will have a slight advantage because they naturally ban Dust 2. Mouse is probably going to have to ban Train, which gives Dignitas opportunity to pick Cobble early on. And the maps Mouse could pick, probably something like Mirage, Cash. Those are all the maps that Dignitas plays as well, so they have a slight advantage going into that. But we saw yesterday that, even though they in the end managed to edge out VP, they had a good start. They were up 6-0, but then lost the half 8-7, and they made a lot of mistakes in the second half as well, but managed to pull back in the end.
And again, I mean, this story of Kjærby finally showing up on lane I thought was a massive contribution in the fact that Dignitas were able to take down VP. It almost masked the fact that, and this is where the debate was sort of off airs, was Dignitas that good or was VP, that much of a slump? I think somewhere in the middle. I think both were, one was really good and one was mediocre.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair way of putting it. I think Dignitas played above what everyone expected and VP came out I guess some of us feared, that they might be a tiny bit rusty, not quite ready to play after having quite the extended break. That's really what we saw the result of. Because obviously you can't say after that game that Dignitas is a better team than VP. It just doesn't work like that. But, definitely got to give credit for Dignitas to being able to pull through, especially with the way they made it so hard for themselves on that last map. Because normally an inexperienced team like that would just falter completely when they've given up pretty much 3 to 4 rounds in a row by silly mistakes, just completely rookie mistakes. And then still being able to bring it back to overtime and win, that's just massive.
Yeah, that was key, I think. We talked about it a lot yesterday, that mental fortitude for them to be able to claw their way back into the game, to be able to adapt when things start going wrong, and they showed that they were able to do that. I was disappointed by VP's CT sides throughout the whole day yesterday. They just seemed to be off, maybe not on point as much individually as they usually are. So I agree that it was a combination of Dignitas playing really well and also VP maybe underperforming slightly.
Yeah, it begs the question, what was VP doing in a lot of their time? I mean, you guys already alluded to the fact they picked up Dust 2 yesterday. They banked a lot on a best of 1 on that map, and it put them in a really tough position for the rest of the tournament. Let's switch gears a little bit, though. Your boy, Nico, as you call him. In-game leading yesterday, had some really good frags against Astralis as well. He was kind of taking them under their helmet and pushing, getting information really aggressively on Mirage, but Chris J was another guy that was big on that team as well.
Yeah, Chris J played amazingly well with the op and with the AK too. So, I mean, if those two can show up, Dignitas will be in a lot of trouble because they are both players who can, win rounds for their team by themselves, more or less. But I agree with what you said. Seeing as this is going to be a best of 3, they will most definitely be pushed out of their comfort zones on a map like Cobble, which I'm pretty confident that we will see. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can, adapt, and will they be that performance against Astralis yesterday was amazing. It's going to be difficult for them to repeat that kind of a performance.
Yeah, live up to it again. But I also think that one of the bigger advantages that Mouse has going into this is the fact that yesterday we saw a Pasha on an op who was not really in form. And we don't know MSL to be a superior operator. He's not one of the best operators in the world by any stretch of the imagination. He's a serviceable operator. And that's great for Dignitas. But now you're going up against Chris J. And we saw Chris J dropping, I think on average, he had like 33 frags over those games yesterday, which is not too shabby. So if he's able to keep that form going in now, then he can just create so much havoc in that Dignitas lineup and force so many tough and unnecessary rotations from the Danish side. And that's just something that they're going to need to actually be able to deal with. Otherwise, they're just going to get shredded.
One of the other things with Chris J as well, and this is kind of an interesting dynamic that you can look at with multiple players, is how good they are with secondary weapons and force buy situations. In, you know, round 2, Cold Zero, MP7 comes to mind, but Chris J with the Scout is also still an incredible force, which
Nico with the Deagle.
Well, there you go. There's your flip side, but it puts a lot of pressure on these potential force buys and eco situations in this game.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a game where I would say the most structured team or the most competent team in just playing anti-ecos is going to be the winner, more or less, because we saw in a lot of games yesterday there were a ton of back and forth in terms of eco rounds going both teams' way. And whoever's able to just keep composure and actually play it as a team during those stages, not get picked off one by one, and not being able to trade at all, they're going to get off to such a good start, and they're going to get the economy rolling. If Mouse decide if they can get consistently ops up on either Nico or Chris J or both, then it's going to be trouble for Dignitas. But it goes both ways.
And Dignitas showed recently, and in their play against under MSL's leadership, that they're extremely good at playing against those force buys. I think they're the team, out of the maybe top 10, top 15 teams, the team who loses the least of those rounds. So it's going to be exciting to see if they can keep up that form coming into this, because I agree it's going to be very important.
All right, guys. Well, we will get into the nitty-gritty of all the maps in just a moment, but first, we are going to introduce the teams, and in order to do that, we do have to send it over to Mowgli on the stage.
Thank you so much for another wonderful nickname. Let's waste no more time. The audience is ready, and I think we are too. Please, everybody, put your hands together and welcome to the stage Mousesports and Team Dignitas. We are going to speak to Mr. Rubino and Dennis. Dennis, starting with you. You had a tough end to yesterday. 22-19 loss to Astralis. What's changing today?
We lost yesterday because we did stupid mistakes. When we managed to don't do them, I think, and if we focus on our game and strategies and what we discussed before the games, I think we can win. And yeah, of course, don't make the mistakes like losing so many advantage situations, and yeah, we will see.
Rubino, we spoke pretty much about 14, 15 hours ago or something, and it was after your 2-1 victory over VP. Are you feeling confident now coming into today against Mousesports again in a best of 3?
Yes.
Any particular reasons for that?
No, not really. We're just confident.
Okay, have you noticed anything in particular about the way these guys play? How do you stack up against them in a best of 3 format?
We haven't looked so much on how they play, but we know that they don't have a proper caller right now. So they're playing pretty loose on aim and such, but they are really good individual players, so it would be a nice match.
Dennis, what do you think about the best of 3 format with regards to you and your team? Does it fit you guys, and specifically against Dignitas?
In our old team with Gob, we were definitely better in best of 3s. We could see that also in the majors. I think in our current team, in our current status, maybe best of 1 is better for us, but I think best of 3 also is good for us.
Rubino, final thing for you, and then I'll go back to Dennis quickly. Yesterday, it was a mix of individual brilliance and team play that brought you guys through that best of 3. Is it going to be a similar sort of strategy coming into this one?
Yeah, we're just going to play as we have done all the time and just continue.
All right. Now, the final thing which I have to ask you about, Dennis, being in front of a massive crowd like this in Germany, as a German, on a German organization, how does it feel?
I will say it in German, okay? Ja, also Leute, auf jeden Fall vielen Dank für eure Unterstützung. Auch gestern, als wir da hinten saßen und das Headset auf haben, wir haben alles gehört, wie ihr uns angefeuert habt und wir sind auf jeden Fall sehr dankbar dafür und wir hoffen, dass ihr uns weiter unterstützt und auf jeden Fall vielen Dank.
There we go. If you guys would like to shake hands and head back to, please shake hands and then head back to your booth. The crowd is ready. We are to say the kiss. Guys, take it away.
Yeah, quite a crowd accumulating in front of the stage. Considering this is an open convention, I would say 90% of the people know where the priorities lie, and CS is the priority. I also thought it was interesting that Dennis kind of walked himself into the corner on that, like, best of 3. Yeah, we were better with copy, but we're still good now.
Like best of 1s are really good for us, but best of 3 are really good for us. That's like, yeah.
Like, what else
That's
can you say?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Getting rid of Godby obviously does leave them without a designated track college. Interesting, they're still identifying him, but they went with Speedy for the individual skill instead.
I mean, definitely, the reason behind it is that he wasn't putting enough hours to improve individually, you know, and maybe they felt they reached a ceiling in a way that if they are to be a better team than they were at that point, he needs to step up his individual play as well. And you know, if he didn't want to do it, they decided to bring another player. I think they were relying a lot on Capio to be the leader, to be the in-game leader for that team. But now they're in a bit of a problem, and they're looking for a new coach / in-game leader.
And that seems to be a trend on many teams right now, unfortunately. Let's get into map pool a little bit. We're going to have the veto in just a second's time, but you guys already alluded to the fact that Cobblestone could actually be a part of this pool. Again, ban picks, so a lot different than 6 bans that we saw in the best of 1 phase.
I can give you the whole map pool if you want right now.
Let's do it.
I'm so
write it down.
confident. So, Mouse bans Train.
Okay.
Get that? So, Dignitas vetoes does too.
Okay.
Mouse picks Mirage.
Yeah.
Dignitas picks Cobble.
Oh, let me do the third.
Okay.
So, well, with the remaining map pool, Cash is gone for sure from Dignitas. And if Mousesports have the opportunity to play Inferno versus Dignitas, they're going to take that opportunity.
You didn't go in order. Well, it depends on who's first. Well, here we go. We'll find
There's
out.
no way Mousesports wants to play Overpass versus Dignitas.
So far, 100% for you, Yanko. Dust 2 and Train are the first 2 bans from Dignitas and Mouse, respectively.
Yeah, now it has to be Cobble for Dignitas. It's the easiest pick of their life.
Feel free to show the whole veto, guys. I know I'm right. It's fine. We don't need this.
There we go.
We don't need this.
No, it's going to be Cobble,
The thing is,
Mirage,
with this particular map pool, I feel that, as I said, I think it will favor Dignitas a bit. I still feel that Mouse is the better team on Mirage, and when it comes to Inferno, neither of these teams played it that much. It was a map with Cobby up until Cluj, Mousesports would always ban. They were known to never play Inferno. Then they started picking it up. They actually lose to G2 once, then they beat them the second time they play at the major on Inferno. But you know, that map is not as of a good map for either team. I feel that Mousesports might have an upper hand on it because I know how Nico plays. I know how he plays the CT side, and he can be that anchor, you know, like Envias has in MBK. He can be left alone pretty much on towards the B bomb site, and you can rely on him to get a couple of kills there.
Yeah, I actually think if Dignitas want to win this, they're gonna have to do it in the 2 first maps. They're not a great Inferno team. The only I think well, they haven't really played Inferno that much after with their new lineup with Rubino being in the team, but they haven't done really well. I saw them playing versus Envious. They got wrecked. Obviously, Envious is probably not the most fun opponent to go up against on Inferno, but the Mousesports team, obviously not the exact same lineup, but pretty much, well, 4 of the same players beat VP 16-2 on that map at SIVO. So, no, it might have been not SIVO. Right after SIVO.
Winter?
That could, no.
No, it wouldn't have been Winter. Winter was a
No.
little bit after. Yeah, I can't remember that.
Well, I'm blanking on the tournament, but they've definitely showed good results at time. Definitely much more promising results on Inferno than what Dignitas has. And I I guess the only hope that Dignitas have, if it goes to third map, is the fact that they have had a lot of time to prep, and I would assume that any team that wants to be worth their while, they're going to learn how to play Inferno, because you kind of have to.
And also these teams probably were expecting to play each other, but the thing is, I think they expected to play each other in the losers match.
And a best of one,
maybe.
yeah.
So
Well, we've got a best of 3. Let's take a look. Yanko, I'll let you do it because obviously, again, your boy Nico is on the team, but you can introduce Mousesports in front of their home crowd for us, if you would, please.
yeah, of course, we see the lineup here: Speedy, Nex, Nico in the middle, Dennis and Chris J. Nico is the in-game leader currently, since they lack a proper one. He took that role upon himself. I think that, you know, he's a really even more important for his team now, because as we talked about it yesterday, he is the guy who creates the space. He draws the attention of, you know, of the opposing team to himself, and then he can maybe, you know, as a caller, it's difficult to focus on both, but, you know, he is in the position to tell his teammates where to go, what to do, where there's some more space for them. Chris J, also the main opera of the team, played amazingly yesterday. Would have to, you know, play at least on a similar level in this game, because it's going to be really close. And I think it's time for Nex to show up, man. Like, you know, he's had a couple of good games on LAN tournaments here and there, but he has that star potential. We've seen time and time again a lot of clips where he gets, you know, amazing kills and so on. And I think it's time for him to step up for his team and to, you know, help them win against Dignitas in this game.
I think it's a bit of a mixed bag. Like, you're going to get a lot of amazing frags, but you're also going to see a lot of crucial errors that don't really make sense and doesn't really exist within a player who's going to be at that next level compared to everyone else. So he's going to definitely need to work on that going further in 2016. We already saw, you know, not to blame it at all on one player. Obviously, you win as a team and you lose as a team, but he definitely had some pretty glaring missteps during that Astralis game on Mirage.
Yeah, a lot of questionable decisions, but, you know, I spoke to Nico after that. He said that, you know, in a lot of those situations, it was also communication issues, you know, not in a sense that they didn't understand each other, but, you know, information came in a split second too late. Someone didn't understand it properly, you know, immediately, and that's enough in a fast-paced game like Counter-Strike to make you lose a round.
On the flip side, Vendetta, we've got Dignitas that they're going up against.
Yeah.
In this debate, I would say maybe the more team structure right now with MSL's leadership, but we'll see if that plays out.
I would definitely say so. So you've got Tensky, Config, MSL, Kirby, and Rubino there, so 4 Danes and a Norwegian. So far, everyone has pretty much had their moments where they stepped up and play well so far this tournament, and I think that's kind of how they're building everything as well. Kirby being the one shining the brightest, I guess. He had a monster game. I think he dropped over 40 frags versus VP on Cobble. So he's definitely got his thing going. Config came really strongly at the end of the game as well. During that T side, he was just opening up things left and right for that team. Rubino had a bit of an opposite trend. He started out really hot on Cash with the ace and the pistol, then gradually started wailing down, and on Cobble he had a bit of a rough go of it. But they're still able to make impact frags for each other. And at least help each other out, and even though they might not have the insane fragging games that you'd like to see from them, they're still able to put their teammates in good positions to actually make up for that deficit. Maybe the most important player for them this game is going to be MSL. Obviously he's the in-game leader, but he's also going to have to be the one who goes up against Chris J. Yeah, and not only that, because Nico is so good as an aimer and a rifler that you're not going to get a lot of seconds to actually just have a battle with him. He's just going to wipe you out. So it might take, you know, a couple split seconds longer than it would if it's Chris J there, but you're not going to be given that much room to work with. So MSL needs to be on point. He needs to hit his shots, and if he doesn't do that, then things can spiral.
We start off on Dust 2. Again, Chris J very comfortable on that.
No, Dust 2 was the first ban.
Oh, sorry, we start off on Cobble. You're right. So
Yep.
Chris J, take back my point then. I was going to say he's very comfortable in the A side, but now he still has the option to run the op over at B.
That's the thing, like at the Cologne major, you know, Mousesports lost to the Luminosity team back then, played on Cobble 16-14. Chris J was playing towards the A side, on the CT side, and I think only maybe once did he pick up the op. So, you know, back then there was a lack of confidence as well on his side, which I feel that is, you know, non-existent right now. I feel that he has a lot of confidence right now. So you can do a lot of damage on the CT side with the op, with those early picks, as we talked about, with the 10 extra seconds of round time. CTs can't just rely on smokes and incendiaries to buy enough time and then make a good call and rotate. So an op getting an early pick is a great way to give advantage to your team. And seeing how Dignitas played yesterday, a bit more slowly out of default, going for that, you know, A-long control, then going for some smoke executes, I think that Christian can have a big impact. The question is, will he have a big impact?
Well, we've got 90 seconds to game. You get a little bit of time to elaborate, but where's your prediction like? Because I think this was the hardest one to predict today.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dignitas. They were too impressive yesterday for me to not back them. Simple as that.
Thank you for the elaboration.
No, if you want to elaborate, no, I think Dignitas are going to take it, and it's going to be 2-0. I think they played a really good Mirage game yesterday, and they've also shown that they can play Cobble as well. So having that in the back of your mind, knowing that Mousesports doesn't really play Cobble that much, it's definitely going to be out of their comfort zone. And given their situation right now, I think they're going to be rocked by Dignitas in the first map, and that's going to carry into the second one.
Yeah, I feel it's going to be a really close game. I'm going to call it 2-1 for Mousesports and say that they're going to probably lose Cobble, even though we haven't seen them play that map at all. But yeah, 2-1 Mouse.
And they used to really like that map as well back in the GOB days, so we'll see if that does change or not. Either way, we've got a split decision on the panel. Of course, you're going to cheer for your countrymen on the respective teams. I knew that was going to happen all along. But either way, we'll find out what happens in game. Henry and Metis, it's all you.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Well analysed, and here we are. We come to the second best of three of today. Once again, we're casting Dignitas. Great showing yesterday against Virtus Pro. Today, they go up against Mousesports, a team that have had some good results and a bad result against Astralis, but they're looking like they're in good form going forward. How do you feel today about this matchup?
It's so tough to call. As the guys on the analyst desk said, they were both split. I feel like I'd probably edge with Mouse overall. Dignitas did play phenomenally well against VP. They won 2 maps, obviously Cobblestone and Mirage, which are going to be played today. So that would definitely favour them. But I just feel like, are they going to be able to rinse and repeat that kind of form? I'm not sure. Was it a fluke? Was it a one-off? VP also played poorly. It's important to mention that on top of everything else.
Yeah, a lot of hit and miss moments there. I feel like Dignitas should have been closing that one out. A lot of key mistakes made in the clutch situations. I feel like today, this is crunch time. They can't afford to make those mistakes in the 1-next situation. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Let's make some noise for the first game and the first map between Mousesports and Dignitas here. It's going to be Dignitas starting on the terrorist side here. 4 sets of armor. MSL of the utility player. He's got a smoke grenade as well. Looks like the fast, long A take coming in. The bomb's going to be going there as well. There's going to be 2 counter-terrorists waiting for them on the other side.
Yeah, looking for the long push right now. That smoke is going to stop their initial charge, though. I'm not entirely sure if a player from Mouse is potentially up in the long halls. And of course, we spoke about this yesterday as well. The one-tap potential from that USP at mid to long range is pretty devastating, so you can't afford to roll the dice there on long. So Dignitas playing this one slow.
This has been standard for Dignitas. Quite a lot of times we see them on the rounds on Cobble, get the control of middle, push the CTs back to the bomb site, and they're very good at executing and exploiting the bomb site once they have this control. Chris J now edging towards middle, trying to find something out. The first kill will come in. Config takes him down, actually gets away with his life as well. That's going to be the 5-on-4 advantage in favour of the terrorists here. Chris J trying to edge out some information, gets punished for it as well. Dennis now isolated on the bomb site by himself. The T's not committing just yet. They're going to be holding back and looking like they may be deciding to go back to that B bomb site. They have got one of their players there. That's going to be Rubino. He's currently just checking out the drop-down room, listening out for any footsteps or if there's any rotation. The CTs have a big decision to make now whether they peel a CT away from that B bomb site. Well, now Dennis to be there by himself. There it is. Nico makes something happen. The reaction is there. He's on the upper platform, takes down Conflict and neutralizes the situation.
Yeah, key frag. It stops Mousesports having to put all their eggs in the B basket. And with 24 seconds to go, Dignitas have to go for the B play. Bomb has been dropped. 3-on-1 now. It's all on Speedy. And can he prove to be live in charge? No, is the answer. A bit of an anti-climax to the end of that round, but the opening couple picks for Dignitas proved to be too much.
Yeah, it seemed like Chris J just desperate for information there. They had nothing to work with. He is out, gives his frag away, and leaves the CTs in a desperate situation. So Nico boosting up, does manage to get that first frag, but it wasn't quite enough. He was neutralized pretty quickly, and the bomb site overtaken by the terrorists there. So 1-0 in favor of Dignitas. They've gone for 4 rifles here, only MSL on the MP7 there. And you can see the force buy from Mousesports actually not that strong. It's only Nico and Dennis that have heavily invested into this round. Speedy, Chris J, and Next just getting Desert Eagles. Chris J just keeping the USP. He wants to keep his economy strong going into that first gun round. We're predicting the AWP coming out pretty quickly from him. Dignitas once again just edging in towards middle and long A, trying to work out where the stacks may lie. Looking to the mini-map right now, there's actually 3 CTs towards that A bomb site. And Chris J Take a little bit of damage there, once again facing towards those mid doors.
Holy nades though, 3 nades were put in mid from Mousesports. Did quite a bit of damage to Config. He's down to 23, but still no early casualties of war. All 10 players remain alive and kicking. Bomb still hasn't really pushed on to either side, still just lurking around the mid area. Dignitas, they did this a lot as well against VP. They had a very slow Cobblestone T half. Yeah. Constantly trying to play the mind games.
More of the same here. As I said before, Nico's got that Mag 7 patrolling the platform area right now. He's got KSL and Rubino walking his way now, so could potentially cause some damage here. Here's some footsteps above him. Going to be going for the face. There it is. Does some decent damage to Rubino. Can't finish him off just yet. Gave the position away as well. Needs to probably get out of there. He gets punished. MSL takes him down with the MP7. And Dignitas take the man advantage here. They have taken a lot of damage though. Rubino on Config on very low HP indeed. As now it looks like the bomb will be showing its presence towards the A side of the map. Just going to be one CT there. That's Chris J at the back of the site, hoping he makes something happen here.
That's a big kill from Next, though. Only 18 seconds left. Dignitas will get this bomb planted, but look at Chris J. He is lurking around the edges. Config. He's going to come good for his team. Kirby as well, and Tensky. Everybody chiming in for frags. Only Rubino is yet to get a frag, and that's because he's a dead man. MSL cleans it up, and Dignitas take the comfortable 2-0. And as you said, Henry, they did commit a little bit into that round, so it's going to probably be another eco here from Mousesports.
Yeah, I think they can probably justify some P250s, maybe a couple of 5.7s here, but Chris J wants to make sure he keeps that money healthy. He's got 3.1 thousand right now, so he'll definitely be getting the AWP in the next round. But Dignitas reacting quite nicely, reading the situation well. They know they're pretty much up against a full eco here, so 2 Mac 10s are going to act as the recon players. Allows them to go into tight situations first, jump around in the Mac 10s and just chew apart those unarmored players here as they make a very fast entrance into the B site. Perfect call here as the A stack had come in from Mousesports, so it's pretty uncontested bomb plant here. MSL does open it up, taking down Speedy. They're just running into the connected doors as well. There's kills everywhere. Just 2 players remaining now for Mousesports. Chris J does take down MSL in the process, but I don't think it's going to amount to anything here as just Next remains with the Mac 10. Not really worth saving this situation, so we'll be buying up next round regardless. So just hoping he can take down a couple more kills here, dent the economy slightly of Dignitas. Bomb has been planted and is ticking away.
But I say, all things considered, though, Mousesports did a much better job of that round than I thought. If they can save this Mac 10, because as soon as they stack on A and the play comes on B, you're assuming that it's just going to be a simple cleanup from Dignitas, and they are going to take the round as expected. But 2 players do fall. However, here comes the first true test. Mousesports will have enough for a full buy. Chris J could get the AWP as well, although he would be sacrificing utility with probably just the 1 flash in the smoke. There we go. Yeah, he has gone for the AWP.
Yeah, so let's see how he approaches it. Dignitas tend not to use an AWP at all on their T side. They're very happy to stick with the 5 rifles here. Chris J will be going towards long A. He has a defensive spawn as well. Could actually be facing all the way. Looks like he will be going for the aggressive face. Or maybe not, waiting for a flashbang perhaps before he shows his hand. Can hear a smoke going off, so he'll be forced to retreat in this situation. Dignitas is holding up and seeing if there is any aggression coming from the CT, spamming through that smoke towards the upper platform. So far though, nothing really to report. They can actually justify leaving Chris J alone on that A-bomb site. He's actually quite committed. He's past drop down and going to be looking towards any T's coming in, but it looks like a B setup coming in right now from Dignitas.
The thing is, I feel Mousesports definitely revolve a lot around Chris J's AWP, and yesterday, the VP Dignitas game, the AWPs really did nothing on Cobblestone because the smokes were so strong from Dignitas.
Yeah.
So I do worry a tiny bit for Chris J if he's going to have any impact in this game. They still have retained the majority of their utility, Mousesports, so they didn't come into this round with a great deal. So the early, I would say the early round has gone pretty much in their favor, but how's it going to look in the next 50 seconds?
Yeah, the thing is, Mousesports have had a single kit here, only 1 smoke remaining and 45 seconds left on the clock. If Dignitas were to do a full execute, it'd be very difficult to hold off. They're going to take control of the drop down Romero right now. CTs haven't got any presence in there. They're playing a very passive game on towards the bomb site.
There's Dennis, though, gets the spray down onto MSL. It's a pretty key frag. Chris J does miss his chance. That would have been a huge frag for Mousesports. They are going to lose Nico, but Config instantly gets taken down in return. And now it really does come down to Chris J. Can he hold on to the site? There's a first kill. And he'll be looking to wrap himself around. Dennis is there with the M4. The bomb has been dropped. And so are the hopes and prayers of Dignitas. Surely Tensky can't pull this off. Didn't have time, and he has been picked off. Good round for Mousesports.
Yeah, key frags towards that connector area. MSL committing himself towards that window. I didn't have someone back with him to get the refrag. Gave Mousesports a man advantage there, forced their way into the A bomb site. Chris J hitting that first shot on the bomb site. This frag was so important. MSL by himself, and then his other teammate dying on the B side as well. It's a pretty easy cleanup for Mousesports at that point, but Dignitas definitely do have enough to justify a buy here. Do have 5 rifles. MSL just down to the Galil. But the good news is for Mousesports, they managed to keep 3 guns alive. So that money is slowly building here. Exchanges going on that upper platform. It's going to be Tensky taking the brunt of the damage there, though. He goes down to 38 HP. And once again, they're taking full control of this long A area. Dignitas have many options once they get this zone. They're very good at faking this site, leaving one player there, smoking off the connector, molotoving behind the APC, and just peeling CTs away from that B bomb site before committing. So let's see how they approach it this round. We have one player forward dig towards that B bomb site. It's going to be Rubino once again. Just lurking towards drop down, seeing if he can show some sort of presence towards that outside of the map.
I feel like Kirby for Dignitas, as this best of 3 progresses, he is going to be the man.
Well, he stepped up massively yesterday.
Yes.
I think he dropped like 40 frags on this map.
He did.
One of his great breakout performances of 2016. He had a pretty massive reputation going into 2015. Never really delivered on the big stage.
Yep.
Showing that he wants to change that this year.
At one point, I think after 10 rounds, he's on like 17 for 6.
That's right, I remember.
So he, as I said yesterday, he started strong, finished strong. They'll be hoping that he can rinse and repeat from that performance. I think Chris J did just catch a leg shot there onto MSL, who is down to 16 HP, but they get the frag anyway. And again, pushing with little time remaining. So they have to make this count. Dennis is now on the site, and Nico gets the crossfire as well, 3-on-3. Tensky's low. They're going to be coming in from behind. Rubino has picked himself up the frag. It's all on Dennis. There's the first kill. He's still got 77 HP. Second as well, 15 seconds left for the timer. And Rubino spoils the party.
Yeah.
Dennis can't get it done.
Once again, they get full control of long A. The smoke execute comes out, and the key player in that round is Rubino. He's waiting and drop down. He's waiting for the calls from his teammates when he needs to rotate from connector. He comes in the back, finds the first kill in the connector area, and comes and wins the one-on-one clutch as well. The fact of the matter is that's such a huge round for Dignitas. They've reset the economy of Mousesports. You can see now how that has affected them. They are going to have a few upgraded pistols, some body armor on Nex and Dennis, but this round looks like it's only going one direction right now. 4-1 in favor of Dignitas. They're going to be aware of the economic situation for the German side here. First kill potentially coming in. Dennis goes down to 24 HP, and you can see Nico pushing up to that upper platform. Rubino may be caught out here. He's been undetected so far. He's been spotted now. Headshot comes in. Can he finish the job off? He doesn't. Rubino capitalizes, takes down Nico, and gives them the man advantage. They still have Rubino on very low HP. He did very well to actually survive that. Looks like the T's now going to be fully executing onto the B bomb site. Speedy with Siren's USP, unable to land the kill there.
A lot of this may come down to Nex. Well, I say that just as he gets picked off. He had the Deagle and the Kevlar, really the last hope for Mousesports. And now it's on Chris J. Bomb planted, USP in hand. The question is, can he take anyone down with him? The answer is a resounding no. Dignitas will take the 5-1 lead. Expected in that round, though. Mousesports have the option to buy, but their economy is so bad.
It would be a very difficult decision this round. I think just take another eco on the chin here. I'm waiting to have the AWP back on Chris J. The problem is he wasn't that impactful before. He was holding that A-bomb site. Only managed to leg a player before getting taken down by Conflict's headshot there at the upper mid-ramp. But here we go. Round number 7 comes in. We have got a Zeus on Chris J. He's on solid USP. It should be another clean round coming in favor of Dig here. Rubino committing heavily towards the upper platform. We're going to have a confrontation here with Nico as well. It's a pretty brutal exchange, but Rubino comes out on top. And the 5-on-4 rings true once again for the Danes.
Zeus in the hands of Chris J. I'm curious if we're going to see that come to fruition. But he is one of the last 2 remaining players now. Next, with the Deagle, has fallen down again, and it falls to Chris J again to try and get some damage done. There's the Zeus. Ooh, they didn't line up for him. But that's going to be 6-1. This is a really rough start for Mousesports.
Yeah, after that first gun round win, it puts you in such a precarious situation. They didn't even force up in that second round. It just shows you how difficult the CT economy is to control and how they can run away with you sometimes. Next now, bringing out the AUG, a weapon we don't see too often. I think Chris J actually ran it on the first day in this tournament.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't do too much with it. Let's see whether Next can have better luck. Double AUG setup this time coming out. Nico and Chris J going to be wielding those weapons. Nico looking to go up, and the upper platform gets smoked out and flashed as well. Difficult situation for him, but he does get away with his life. Rubino once again working that upper platform. They're going to be heavily committing towards the B side of the map this time. Leads themselves to the point of no return as they jump through the bomb site.
Nico's here though. Smokes are going to keep him safe for now. Frag comes down from Next. I'm not sure if that was through smoke or not. That's a big kill. And they desperately need to start winning some CT rounds. Bomb has been planted. Config with the spray down. Looks for more. Starts spraying at Rock. Does do damage, and now MSL from behind bags himself too. Chris J and Speedy have a huge task ahead of them. Neither of them have any utility or defuse kits. This surely is a no-hope round for Mousesports. That's going to give them maybe a little bit of hope. Speedy sprays down to Rubino. He has been tagged pretty low himself, though. And time is ticking down here. Mousesports, they just have to tap out. That's going to be another round to Dignitas here.
Yeah, they need to save these weapons. They're the double orb setup. Not really too effective there. Nico trying to go for that upper platform pick. Just get completely swarmed off that area and put into an unfavorable position, getting flashed out and taken down by Config. Very aggressive stuff there. MSL coming in with the backstep for a drop down as well. Chris J managing to save the AWP, but another rough round there. Simple and loose play style from Dignitas. Just getting through that smoke, flashing over and swarming the bomb side. A double orb setup. Ineffective against it because they simply can't retake through so many smokes. And this MSL with the backstab right now, getting rotating players. And Chris J does save the AWP, but it's another quasi-buy here coming in for the CTs. They've got 2 Deagles, 157 and a PT50. Chris J with the AWP. Guardian has proven in the past that 1 AWP is enough on this map to make something happen. As he's going to be holding the A bomb side. Not going for too much aggression here. He's actually playing quite a defensive stance. The problem is Dig once again going towards the B bomb side. The opening kill coming in. Speedy drops and the swarm onto the site begins once again.
Nico, hello? He just walked straight past 2 plays. He's going to get the AWP frag for the second and can't get it done. However, Chris J still has the AWP. And they still have a hope while he's alive. But again, the bomb's been planted. Again, no utility to get back on that site with. And Dignitas have perfect positions. So correctly, I'd say Mousesports concede yet another round. But at some point, the currency that's going to matter is not what's in their bank balance, it's going to be what's at the top of the screen. Dignitas are already stomping away with this game.
Well, the saving grace of Mousesports is after this round they meet maximum loss bonus, so they get $3,400. So they're going to have healthy buys coming forward. They need to work out a way of shutting down this quite fast B attack Dignitas are employing right now. I think next round we'll see Dignitas going back to their A standard, taking control of long, going back to that more methodical stance, just because Mousesports are probably thinking, right, we need to start stacking that area, we need to change and adapt to what's going on. And this will probably be the perfect call right now for Dignitas going forward. Let's see the buy coming in from Mousesports. Like I said, a very healthy buy. Dennis does have the opportunity to drop an AWP if he wants to. Let's keep 1 this time after Nico getting stifled in that upper platform. Chris J still has $4,500, so here's a healthy bankroll going forward. Let's see what he does this time. He went for the aggressive face before, but got smoked out. Will he be tempted to try and make something happen, open up the round for his teammates here? He's going to be walking in towards long A, waiting for the flashbang, so this could be smoked off once again. Could get a call out here. He's in a precarious position, going towards danger now. You can see players running past him. He needs to make a frag happen. Doesn't look like it will. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Players making their way up towards middle very quickly indeed, and he's just locked out of the game.
How is he still alive, though? They have to be very wary that once those smokes start to dissipate, that Chris J could become a factor in this game again. And the fact that Dennis picks up that frag definitely lifts a huge weight off their shoulders. Chris J could even start to wrap himself back onto the B site and get relevant again. If Dignitas can't get onto this site anytime soon, Dennis has picked up another frag, but 2 kills have came back, make that 3. And Dignitas, just another day at the office for them here on Cobblestone. It's not looking good for Mousesports. Chris J finally starts to make his way back over on mid. But is it too little too late, Henry?
He was just locked out of the round from the beginning. He was forced to go towards the top of middle and his teammates battle by themselves. Bomb is yet to be planted. You can see the terrorists making sure they make the most of this. Nice headshot there from Tensky to take down the AWP player. Just going to be Nico remaining now in a 1-on-3 situation. This kill needs to happen. It's not going to. Dignitas continue the rampage. 9 plays 1 now. And as I said before, the maximum loss bonus coming in. Dignitas is keeping this fast and loose, just changing between the A bomb site, the B bomb site, and the pause coming in now for Mousesports. I think this is probably a good time to do it. Things are getting out of hand rapidly here. Looking at the economy for the CTs, they probably can't even justify a buy. You know, they've got 3 players on 3K. Chris J has got 8, but it would be a very weak buy with lack of utility or defuse kits once again. So the hometown favourites here getting decimated right now.
Can't really add anything to that. Just absolutely hit the nail on the head. I was going to ask you, actually, if Mousesports didn't call the timeout this round, at what point they'd think about doing it? Because
this round has
been outplayed the entire map.
At this point, they can't really buy, to be honest. I think I can see next buying a Deagle, so I don't think they'll be fully committing to this one. I think it's just the time that they need to take stock on the situation. What's going on? Why are they getting run over so quickly? Why are the rounds over before the first 20 seconds have even started? So Dignitas starting the game off with a slow mentality, going for those long takes, smoking off, and having the backstabs coming from Rubino. Then they just kind of adapted when Mousesports were trying to lock that down, and they started rushing B over and over again, working out very well for them. Got control of the economy, and then they started going towards the A-bomb side. It's been beautiful display from them so far. This individual skill really stepping up. Everyone fragging for Dignitas very substantially as well. You can see MSL top fragging on 12. We have a look at the scoreboard from Mousesports. Struggling a little bit. Speedy on 3 for 9. No one really fragging effectively. Dennis has been making some entry kills, but he's normally isolated on the A bomb side by himself, and it's just a little bit too late. That round where Chris J got locked out and forced towards the top of the middle, that was pretty devastating. So we can see the buy coming in now. Nico has decided to go for a Mag 7. Desert Eagles for the rest of the team. It looks like another round going in favor of Dig, and that will be 10-1. And this feels like this game's been about 5 minutes long so far. It's been so fast-paced. Let's see what they can do here. There's no reason why Mousesports can't bounce back into this one. I don't think it'll be this round, but if they can salvage a 10-5, at least it's something to work with.
That's the thing, we discussed this yesterday as well on Cobblestone. The T half is very capable of just taking the game away. So if Mousesports can finish on 4 or 5 rounds, they're still maybe in this game if they're in the pistol. They try the aggression. After all, they're pretty much just on pistols. But it's not going to pay off for them. Kirby is right there on... Wait, they actually went in for a bit of a commitment this round.
I think they need to start taking the AWP in a more passive role towards that B side of the map, maybe boosting on the fountain, or there's even Chicken Coop. There's something to be holding off that aggression when it comes in and just getting a couple of shots off. Right now, the only AWP they've tried towards B has been very aggressive on the platform. That got shut down straight away, moved to an unfavorable situation. If playing the AWP in a more passive role towards B, I think, would be favorable right now. I think that's probably going to play next round. Maybe move Chris over there, have 2 rifles towards A, then you've kind of got everything covered in that sense. But Nico now flashed off. Nothing you can do in that situation. Is absolutely done for. Just going to be 2 players remaining now. Chris J and Speedy only have Desert Eagles to work with. Config does spot one of them. And that's going to be pretty much the round tied up there. Chris J does take down 1, but there it is. 10 plays 1. Dignitas definitely running away with this. First map at the best of 3. Chris J, 8K in the bank. Definitely can get the AWP out once more. Maybe they may favor a full rifle setup here. The AWP has had little to no impact. He has got the AWP out. And let's see where he decides to go this time. Once again, will not be changing his position, going towards long A once more. I'm interested to see what his thought is behind this. He's been smoked out and flashed out pretty much every single time. I prefer him just to sit back and bide his time in his situation. But Dignitas now committing 4 players towards the A side of the map. That classic A split coming in, taking the vision away from middle, and getting the CTs questioning themselves. Rubino once again just lurking towards that drop-down area. He'll be coming in for the backstab as soon as his team commits to that A side of the map. They do have a fake variation of this as well. Once they do the smokes, they can actually rotate very quickly towards that area once Rubino has control of drop down. So expect to see them changing things up slightly perhaps, but there we go then. 1 minute 15 remains, and they have got full control of long A right now.
This kind of goes back to the problem I was mentioning before about Chris J just getting smoked out of this. He has had no impact with this AWP. And again, Mousesports really require him to tee off. It's why Dust 2 is such a strong map for them. We saw that earlier against VP yesterday. And it was Pasha, when he went to the B site with the AWP, that's when he started to land the frags, the death actually of regulation time. So I agree.
That's what I thought.
Maybe try switching it up, try something different over on the B side. This round is the same though, and Dignitas still yet to pull the trigger, but they have 3 smokes in play with a couple of flashbangs and a Molotov. They could even just go for the wraparound through onto B, and that seems to be the case here, Henry, with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, 30 seconds, they'll be committing any second here. Taking the vision away from the CTs towards middle and long, and there it is, the first frag once again. It's going to be Nico taking down. No one there to get the reply flag. He's trying to make things happen by himself. Dennis needs to make this happen, but there it is. KRB stepping up once more. Brings it down to the 5-on-3 situation. Speedy needs to make something happen here. Gets 2 for his troubles, but is it going to be enough as Next chimes in as well? 2-on-2, a must-win round for Mousesports. Chris J coming in emphatically here, trying to find the shot. Should be able to land this one on the bomb site, edging his way around towards the fountain. Needs to land a shot here. That's the one. He does it. 2-on-1. Finally, they have an opportunity here. Tainsky taking out Next. 1v1 situation. Chris J does have the defuse kit. Bomb, though. Difficult position to win his clutches. Goes for the fake. Just taps it. Going to be full defusing now. This could work. There it is. Nicely played from Chris J. Gave himself 2 options there. Had the scope ready to shoot when Tainsky faced. And had the full defuse going as well. Very lovely stuff from him. And finally, we have something to talk about for Mousesports.
We do. Chris J, beautiful retake, but here comes the issue. They've now just reset their own loss bonus. They can't afford to lose. They have to keep the momentum going forward. And because they lost 4 players in that last round, it's going to be a Mag 7. And Dennis has just managed to get an M4. So it's not quite as bad as I originally thought. Mag 7 is also a pretty viable weapon.
Oh, absolutely. Like, that can do absolutely well for this map. Like, you get in the right situation, you can dodge some flashbangs, you can cause chaos there. Dignitas now feeling out the bomb sites. Looks like a counter boost coming in from the CT. He's trying to peek into that drop down area. It's going to be Nico with that Mag 7. He's been pretty quiet this game. As he is the one going up, smokes himself out, and Cruz should be taken down here, but somehow finds the kill. Headshot onto MSL, making the gun work for himself. Get the AK and get out of there right now. 15 HP before he gets naded. Needs to move. Oh God, how is he still alive? Manages to avoid death narrowly, going down to 7 HP. Does get the AK-47. Oh, he didn't get the AK. He ran away with the Mag 7. I assumed he salvaged the AK in that situation, but he doesn't.
I think what happened is the nade did not blow
Yeah,
the AK away from
right.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to grab it when the nade came through, and he just kind of panicked. Understandably, you're lucky to survive with his life there. But Kirby has came back, so Mousesports still have a huge task ahead of them. 3 frags in quick succession, and Chris J again is forced into a retake scenario, but this time it's much less likely to be able to pull this one off. The boost is in. Can he not see that first player?
Apparently not. 4-on-2, pretty much impossible situation now. That's going to secure the deal. Dennis goes down. Chris J, the last remaining player, does manage to leg one, but that's going to be it. He is punished, and there you said it before. Money reset again. Only $1,400 going into the bank accounts of the counter-terrorists, and it's looking pretty grim.
I think that expression tells it all.
I think
on Nico.
At this point, you're 11-2 down. You're on a full eco again. This map may be going in one direction. Metis, it seems like Dignitas just completely outplayed them in every juncture here, out-aiming every single time. It seems like the entry kills are just on point. Simple execution, staying as a unit. It's been working very effectively indeed. As we enter round number 14 now, Mousesports looking down the barrel on his first map, being a complete runaway. First kill comes in, Rubino takes it, but Chris J's got second ideas as he does take down Config. Nico chiming in as well, does bring it to a 3-on-3.
Well, Nico has a P250. We saw him pull off some crazy plays yesterday. But the difference in weaponry shines through at the end. And I think we're starting to see why Mousesports don't play Cobblestone a great deal.
Yeah, it's kind of becoming apparent. Dignitas taking down VP on this map in double overtime yesterday. One of the most renowned teams on Cobble. That's a huge scalp to take. And today, it's business as usual. We go into the final round of the half now. 12-2 in favor of Dignitas. Chris J just with the scout, going to be facing this time aggressively towards Long A, but another B rush coming in from Dig. They are just done with this. They want to finish this off quickly, but Nico does get the first frag there and slows down the rush as Rubino does go down. Manages to salvage an AK as well. Maybe they can do something with this.
It's going to be tough, but the comeback has to start right here, right now. I mean, even at 3 rounds going through into that second half, it's still almost impossible. There is still at least a small percentage if you win the pistol. But that first frag was huge. Jumping up on the box, getting the Mag 7 kill.
It goes without saying, they need this round.
Yep.
There's no two ways about it. This has to happen. They've got the man advantage now. They just don't have the weaponry to hold off this B push coming in. The smokes and flashes are about to be deployed. That wall of smoke strategy coming in. Molotov dropped as well. Next frag is going to be huge.
Nico at the back of the site, double spray down. Very nearly gets the third after that Mag 7 kill. All been Nico. Desperately need him to step up in the next maps as well, but Dignitas is still on this round. MSL gets to drop 3 more planes. He's given his position away, but has 45 seconds. The only downside, he has no bomb. Chris J does get the tag, and next finishes off the half. Only 3 rounds, pistol or bust for Mousesports.
Absolutely. So Dignitas going for the straight-up B rush there. Nico managing to slow them down with that first Mag 7 pick. They change their mentality, go for the wall of smokes, a slightly more methodical approach, and luckily for them, Nico stepping up once more with this AK. The double spray down comes in. Nice headshot there onto Config. That seals the deal. At least they have something to work with here. Like you said, it goes without saying they need the pistol. There's just no two ways about it. So, first round of the second half here. Let's have a look at the buy coming in from Mousesports. They've got 3 sets of armor. Speedy's on the utility with the smoke and 2 flashes. Nico continuing the trend of his tournament so far. We'll have the Deagle in the pistol. Unorthodox, but he's one of the strongest Deagle players in the world, I would say. So, fair play to him.
He did this yesterday as well, every single pistol round.
That's right.
He loves the Deagle.
5 sets of armor for Dig, so they're all in on this one. No kits.
Very true. So if Mousesports can conga line their way to a site and plant, it could be a bit iffy for Dignitas. Oh, the double crossfire's down, but Tensky doesn't need any help. 2 kills. As clean as you like. Next has answered back, giving Mousesports a lifeline, but Tensky takes it away. And we mentioned before how crucially important this round was for Mousesports.
Yeah, and Tensky is stepping up and is causing so much damage to the terrorist side there. 4-on-2. Do still have a smoke and a flashbang to work with for Nico's Deagle. But that's got to be the final nail in the coffin, it feels like. can they do here? Just trying to find a pick, something to work with. They need to do something here. 55 seconds. Speedy making his way around, trying to clear out long ahead. Nico does go down at the hands of Kiabi there. And there it is. Tensky gets his 4th kill of the round. Massive performance from him. Mousesports with no option here but to force buy into this round. You feel like they just have to get Tech 9s and armor and to see what they can do with it. Time ticking away. Not actually going to be committing just yet, actually. They're going to be going for the full eco. Normally when you don't get the bomb down, it's kind of standard to just answer straight back with the force buy coming in. Didn't get a plant, so this is kind of an interesting mentality for them. They're going to be going all in next round, I guess. They want to get some Galils maybe and see what they can do. Full drop-down rush, about to come in.
Indeed, they're just going to be trying to maybe throw this round away. Chris J, the only player with any real weaponry with that Tech 9, and he has already fell down to Kiabi. This is just a complete clean-up from Dignitas. We weren't expecting much from that round, but over in a blink of an eye. So now Mousesports, have they saved for this moment?
Well, they can get Galils, they can get armor, they can get a couple of flashbangs. That's about it. You can see Buy is coming in now. Deagle on Chris J. Speedy, this is the Tech 9. They have got 2 AKs, but just distinct lack of any sort of equipment. 2 smokes. Looks like it's going to be a straight-up B rush coming in here. On the German side, the Hail Mary play. It's about to come into fruition.
Man, Nico just took so much damage from the grenade, but gets the kill somehow. Looked like he may have been flashed on his side. We've seen him pick a couple of those kills up before. Nex is keeping Mousesports in this one. Barabino's P90 shuts down Speedy dead in his tracks. Can't get the second one. Looking a bit better for Mousesports. However, Nex is low. And both the CTs are now coming in together, both on 100% of their HP. And with utility and a kit to boot. It's going to be a rough hold here for Mousesports. That's a beautiful way of starting things off, though. Next close range picks up his 3rd frag of the round. And now MSL with his UMP. All that stands between Dignitas and Mousesports picking up another round, and Dennis has pulled it off. Gives the crowd something to cheer about finally.
Well, they decided to go for the Felica before, brought out 2 AKs. Next, picking up 3 frags. They make it happen, but Dignitas, they're answering straight back with a force by themselves. I would say when you have this kind of bed of rounds, it's normally suggested just come back in with a full buy of everything, but it's actually not too bad. They have a P90 and a FAMAS, 3 rifles, 4 smokes, 1 kit. It's definitely workable, but let's see how they approach this one. It's going to be a 3-man stack towards the B side. They're playing 2 players towards A, so Mouse will be slowing us down. They just want to try and ascertain as to what kind of buy Dignitas have available. Kiabi taking a massive nade there. He goes down to 30 HP before 20 seconds even expires. Spreading out across the map, not really committing to anything just yet. Kiabi has been boosted into drop downs. Config there with the first kill. Taking down Nico.
Config did this a lot yesterday as well against VP, constantly going up on the platform, and as soon as they started to Molotov and nade it, he just pulled back into chicken coop or behind the site. So it's not too surprising to see him play aggressive. And that kill, absolutely huge. Second one comes from him as well. And just like that, B has been locked down from Dignitas. Are they going to start to play aggressive here? Maybe try and wrap themselves around the back of Mousesports. I'm not entirely sure where the play's coming in. Dennis has answered back, though. But still, Dignitas have MSL. And we know how clutch he can be in these kind of situations, Henry.
Kiabi's coming in the back as well. They're getting pincered from all angles. MSL towards our mid-area. Will be having confrontation. Takes down the bomb. Gets 2 as well. That's going to be the round tied up. Just Dennis remaining now. He has made his way out of the fence. But Config finishes the round off in style. 15 plays 4 now. Money reset once again from Mousesports. I feel like that may be all she wrote, Metis, as we enter potentially the final round.
Yeah, it's hard to see how Mousesports can delay the inevitable any longer.
At this point, I'd be just thinking about the next map.
Yep.
This stage is just going to be too far gone. It'd take too much effort to even think about this one, although it's difficult to swallow that pill. I'd say it's too far gone now. They're going to be going for another B rush here, trying to B split. 2 players making their way out drop down. Undetected so far. Could find some kills here. Rubino goes down, but Config stepping up with the double AK-47 takedown. And that should be it now. The bomb is dropped. All of a sudden, though, Nex gets the double deagle, but he's in a 2-on-1 situation. Has salvaged the bomb. And it all comes down to this man here.
Nex, definitely one of the standout players for Mousesports. Problem though, 36 HP in a 1 versus 2. Oh, I thought he had the drop on Tensky. He's down to 10 HP though. Molotov forces Nex out.
Oh, God.
Actually, it doesn't. No, it has just spread to him. 5 HP, and Tensky picks up the pieces, 16-4. I thought this map would be close. Anything but.
Right, stop the clock. What was that, like 6 minutes game?
So, yeah, felt like it.
That was crazy. Dignitas doing some serious work here. The Wrecking Crew just playing fast and loose in the terrorist side. A few tactics chucked in there for good measure. Completely decimate the German side here. They're the hometown favourites. They wanted to perform in front of the crowd here, but so far they haven't delivered. 16-4 is the first score on Cobble. It's a map Mousesports aren't famous for playing, and I'm sure they can bounce back, but it's the individual's talent and the fragging just wasn't there either. So I'm not sure what to expect in the second map there. Mousesports probably want to take a little bit more time here and just work out what the hell happened to them.
Yeah, distinctly worrying, I'd say, from a Mousesports fan's perspective, because none of their individuals really stepped up. Nico had a couple of moments.
Well, this felt like we were just banking on Nico doing something on the CT side, right? He was just going for the aggressive faces on upper platform once it was already like 7-0. He was trying to make things happen. They're getting taken out. He's a key player for the team. They weren't really adjusting their setup too much. Like we said, it would have been potentially better to have the AWPer come over towards the B site, play a more passive role, and actually have him hitting some shots there, but wasn't meant to be. So your victors of the first map is going to be Dignitas 16-4. We're going to take a very quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. I've got a feeling this one isn't quite over.